Hey guys, it's Maurice from the Black and Snerdy podcast. Before the episode starts, I just wanted to give you guys a quick heads up. We recorded this back in March, and there was a bit of a technical issue that we did not catch until after the first 30 minutes. So my microphone was not working at that time, and so the first 30 minutes is going to sound like my microphone is off. Odie's microphone is still working. You pick her up clearly, and you can still hear me, but that is the noticeable audio issue. The rest of the episode is fantastic. We fixed it after that 30 minutes, but I just wanted to give y'all a quick heads up. So if you want to skip the first 30 minutes and go to after the commercial break, more than welcome to. I love everything that we recorded in that first 30 minutes anyway. And plus, if y'all know me, you know that I have absolutely no problem when it comes to volume issues with myself. You know, I'm just naturally loud. So thanks for your time and enjoy the show.
You know what it is, black and snerdy, black and snerdy, black and snerdy, black and snerdy.
You know who it is, black and snerdy, black and snerdy, black and snerdy, black and snerdy.
Odie, Maurice, Odie, Maurice.
Maurice, Odie, Maurice, Odie.
Black and snerdy, black and snerdy.
Black and snerdy, black and snerdy.
Hey, oh.
Yes, Mo?
Are you ready?
Let's go!
Black and snerdy, black and snerdy, black and snerdy, black and snerdy. It's the Black and Snerdy podcast with Odie and Maurice.
Guess who's back? Back again. We are back. Tell a friend. I thought you were going to jump in at some point.
I was. I'm trying to find the beat that you were establishing. I didn't realize that we were going to go with an Eminem reference leading off the thing, but okay.
I mean, what other song comes up to your head when you hear Guess Who's Back?
Oh, boy. I created a monster. But nobody wants to see Maurice no more. They want Odie. I'm chopped liver.
All right. Well, friends, we are back for another week of the Black and Snerdy podcast. I am your host, Odie.
And I'm your other host, Maurice, a.k.a. Momo.
And this is where snerds of a feather flock together.
Caw. I'm downplaying the bird theme, even though I'm from Maryland and we have ravens and stuff. So,
do you think that Baltimore is the only place that has ravens?
No. Yes, actually, we're the only one who has Edgar Allan Poe.
Was Edgar Allan Poe from Baltimore?
Yes, he was. That's the. Wait, time out. Hold on. I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but that's the whole point. Edgar Allan Poe was initially from Baltimore. That's the whole reason why we're super gravitating towards ravens. Quote the raven, nevermore.
Never heard that before, but all right. I mean, I've heard and recited and read all of Edgar Allan Poe's work. Although did not know or remember from when I studied him that he was from Baltimore. Honestly, I would have, for whatever reason, thought he was British. But
no, I get it. That makes sense. A pale white dude who is creating mad, dark, and depressing stuff in an area in this country that seems like people don't really survive from. Yeah, it's from Baltimore.
Yeah, well, that tracks.
There we go.
Yeah. But how is your week going? How are you doing?
So far, pretty good. Honestly, I have never been more energetic to be on a productive thing because I spent most of the week just being on some sort of run-of-the-mill BS. You know, just I turned my brain off and I just let's just do work. Let's just fill in, get that money and whatever like that. But it's only on the weekends where I get to be passionate, and we record on the weekend. So yeah, I'm showing my passion in front of you, in front of your face as I look into your eye. So yeah, I'm feeling good. How are you?
I'm feeling pretty good.
Cool.
Considering.
Asked and answered. Boy, oh boy. How about you and I dive right into it? As I look sultrily into your glasses, from glasses to glasses.
I'm not looking at your eyes.
I know you aren't. You just are just avoiding my eyes at every single gaze. And we just dive straight into pop culture. Pop that culture, son. Hopefully that'll be a future drop that I can pay for. Pop that culture.
All right.
Popping
Well,
culture on a handstand. Continue.
the first thing I wanted to talk about was something that has been pretty spicy. I don't remember if you recall the Sharon, or not Sharon Osbourne. If you recall the Meghan Markle, uh, Oprah Winfrey interview.
I believe we talked about
We
it
did.
previously. Could you give me at least a little bit of context, just bare minimum context for what you're about to talk about?
Well, Meghan Markle and Harry, the prince and princess, went to the queen of interviews, Oprah.
Yeah, she's our
and talked to her about why basically they were left the British monarchy. Basically, were kicked out, but most they left, quote unquote.
Yeah, of course.
And so after that, everyone was talking about it. Unfortunately, they got some negative press from a lot of the racist British people and
So
racist white people here in the
all
States.
of BBC. When they weren't playing reruns of Doctor Who and Black Mirror, they were being mad racist against Meghan Markle.
One of the main ones that we also know here is Piers Morgan, because he has a TV show.
Yeah, he's mad messy.
And he basically was just saying all this nasty stuff to her and about her, and he walked off his show, Good Morning Britain, I think, because one of the Black mixed race co-workers on the panel was basically like, you have said all this stuff about her, and so she goes next to her husband and is saying these things are true, and you're still saying all this nasty stuff, and it just doesn't make any sense. And this is exactly what she was talking about.
Didn't he try to I'm sorry, side note, isn't it he tried to spit game to her and she said no, when she was mad, just on some acting, I'm
apparently
on, USA Suits type stuff, and this was mad before her and Harry met.
Apparently, she and Piers went out for drinks, and then she left that night and went to a bar. Or sorry, they were at a bar, they went for drinks. She left that night and went to a party, and at that party, she met Prince Harry. So he has had this grudge against her, even though at the time he was married. So really, why would you have any grudge against a woman who's going to drinks with you thinking you're a friend and you just wanted to fuck her? But
so just essentially every college age fuckboy. And just as a quick note, if anybody has been paying attention, yes, I'm not cursing because of Lent, but for this specific episode, if I have to curse, then that's 10 push-ups. Yeah, I'm marking that. So yeah, that's 10 push-ups that I have to do because he was an F-boy, and I said that. So there we go. Boom. F him. You were saying?
Yeah. So he's been having a bunch of people commenting about him. And there was someone, a Sharon Osbourne from the Ozzy Osbourne clan, who got really... She was tweeting her support for him, and people were like, what are you talking about, Sharon? And she's on that show, The Talk on CBS.
She is on The Talk.
And so her panelists had some questions for her, and she didn't really like that.
Ooh, okay. So would you like to sort of obviously that was the best setup that could possibly be done. Do you want me to play a quick clip of that?
I do.
Okay, cool. I think I have that prepared and set up for that. We're gonna play just a real quick clip of Sharon Osbourne doing her Sharon Osbourne defense of Piers Morgan. Here we go.
I will ask you again, Cheryl. Yes. I've been asking you during the break. Right. I am asking you again. And don't try and cry, because if anyone should be crying, it should be me. This is the situation. Yes. You tell me where you have heard him say, educate me, tell me when you have heard him say racist things. Educate me, tell me.
It is not the exact words of racism. It's the implication and the reaction to it. To not want to address that because she is a Black woman and to try to dismiss it or to make it seem less than what it is. That's what makes it racist. But right now, I'm talking to a woman who I believe is my friend. And I don't want anybody here to watch this and say that we're attacking you for being racist. And for that, if I articulated
I think it's
anything,
too late. I think that seed's already sown.
All right.
I think we can.
Can we just pause right there? I just want to. Is it okay to just pause right there? Just real quick. Hey, any white people just listening to all of this? If you have a friend who's been mad racist and you're coming to the defense of him, already you're off to a bad start. So don't do that. Like, please. But also, like, the onus is not on whomever is saying, hey, they did this F stuff. The onus is not on them. So you being like, show me the thing that my friend did. No, you're already on the wrong foot. Do not do that. That's not good. That's not good. Am I wrong for saying that?
No, you're completely right. I mean, honestly, she sounded ridiculous and was having a whole tantrum.
Mm-hmm.
And that tantrum didn't suit her well because after that episode aired, it came out that she had been, not only this season, but in previous seasons, she had been kind of, saying not kind of like racist things and rude things to other co-hosts. Holly Robinson Pete said she called her ghetto, and she was the reason why that she had gotten kicked off the talk a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember her name. She was she's the wife of the one of the executive producers, and she's an Asian woman. And allegedly, Sharon said something very racist to her and still was not allowed on the show. So she's been on the show for about 10 years and has been saying things to her coworkers.
Yeah.
Elaine Wenterroth.
Mm-hmm.
Hope I'm not saying that wrong. She used to be the editor-in-chief of Teen Vogue.
Mm-hmm.
She and her hairstylist have complained about her. So really, she just was digging herself in this grave. And now comes to find out after their 3-week hiatus that she's no longer on the show.
You know what's weird? It's weird to think that between her and her husband, the fact that her husband is a dude who literally ate the head off of a bat on
He didn't
stage.
eat it. He just chomped it off.
Oh, cool. Yeah. And yet she's the one who's the most problematic right now in 2021. Yeah. No.
Well, speaking of problematic white women.
Yes. Speaking of the infinite topic of problematic white women. You hear that? Maurice is saying that.
I know you have your Mauriceisms, but there is someone else with the M name who also has another catchphrase, and it's my father. If you don't know, that is Meghan McCain.
Oh boy.
Because literally, I don't know when I have seen her in an interview, whether she's talking on The View, if she's talking to Fox, if she's talking to anybody on TV, where she doesn't seem to be able to bring up her father. And guess who her father is? If you weren't sure about her last name, what's his name again? John McCain.
So I was gonna be like, you used me as a segue to this thing of So why did you think I would help you out?
Well, I thought you would know his name, but that's fine. Anyway, his name is John
You're
McCain.
the one who
late John
apparently
McCain.
accused me of using my father's name.
No, I did not. I said you have Maurice-isms because you say the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, I do.
Not the fact that you have the same name as your father. You can't help that.
The same name as I can't. He's the one who did that.
Anyway.
Anyhow, you were saying?
So she has been doing, saying a lot of stupid stuff on The View, as she is wont to do.
Yeah, that's her role.
I don't know if you remember a few months ago where she was tweeting out, it was during the Black Lives Matter protests, and some buildings had gotten broken into or glass had been broken. And she was like, I looked out of my window in my apartment and everything is just destroyed, and it was like it's a post-apocalyptic nightmare.
Yeah, and everybody took a picture of her area in Upper East Side, and it was like, not even Upper East Side, Upper West Side. It was like, hey, nothing's happening over here.
Yeah, and there was I don't know.
The bodega still has Parliament, American Spirits, and Black and Mild Royals.
I think this
no broken glass.
other journalist who's lives in her building was like, Meghan, I'm looking outside and there's nothing going on. So she's always putting her foot in her mouth. And so recently, after what's her name? Oh gosh, my brain is literally like broken. Okay, Senator Tammy Duckworth and Mazi Hirono we're just basically saying that they wanted more Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders in Biden's cabinet. And this was what she had to say about it.
And I think the question Democrats have to reconcile with right now is whether or not race and gender are more important than qualification. So if you have someone who is more qualified, who happens to be a white, straight person, who is more on paper, has more experience in whatever field that they're being nominated for, than a minority with less experience, are we now in a place where this matters? The View is 25 years old next year. We've only had one Asian American co-host this show. So does that mean that one of us should be leaving at some point because there's not enough representation? We're talking about, is identity politics more important than qualifications of a job? And I think that's a question going forward that the progressive left is going to have to reconcile.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
hey, Odie, I'm going to ask you real quick, straight up. And yes, I'm well aware of what the board is doing, and I'm well aware of what my Lent is doing. Do we ever have to pay any attention to these basic bitch ass white women like Meghan McCain, who says this ignorant ass stuff? Because like, what does she mean that like the left is going to have to bargain with, like, if we have more? Like, that is the dumbest shit that I've ever said. Sorry, this is the most I've ever cursed, and yes, I'm doing 60 push-ups at some point in the next 24 hours. But that just made me upset. It was.
I just think that it's kind of it is very funny to be disparaging to affirmative action when really the only reason you have a job is because of who? Your father, because you didn't do anything besides, right? I think she wrote a book about him and also just constantly talking about him. Like, that's it. That's the reason why you have a job.
But that's not even affirmative action. That's just white privilege /
I mean, it's nepotism, but it's like we
need a term for anti-affirmative action. Like,
but it's like she's talking about people having, because the whole idea that people have against affirmative action is that, oh, like somebody who's white isn't going to get something because someone who's, person of color is going to get it, but what if they're not as qualified? But what is her qualification? She's not a journalist. I don't know what she went to school for, if she went to school or finished or whatever. Maybe someone paid someone to go through college for her. But there's nothing about it that's like, oh yes, I totally need to hear Meghan McCain talk about any issue in America ever.
Odie, as somebody who has had sex with a lot of white women, I don't like. We never need to hear any. This is probably the episode where Maurice turns out to be the blackest person in the world. We never need to hear conservative white women who ain't done nothing but skate off their daddy's name talking about affirmative action of any kind or whatever. If there was an opposite of affirmative action, like, it's not white privilege. Like, what is the opposite of affirmative? Conservative? No. Like, whatever it is, she is on the other scale of it, and that opinion doesn't matter. And like, I literally, the way that you roll your eyes anytime I say, like, man, I'm glad I work with you, like, is the way that like I listen to that clip of her and I roll my eyes all of what she said. So it doesn't matter, quite frankly.
Do you want to laugh?
You know damn well that I want to laugh.
All right. What is your favorite cereal?
I love Frosted Flakes. Why? Set me up. What's up? What are we talking about?
No, this is really quick. I was just gonna say that this comedian Jensen Karp, who happens to be married to Topanga, found some sugar-coated shrimp.
That's right.
In his cereal.
That's right.
But the funny thing is, after he did that, all these people started like tweeting about how terrible he is. So really, it's just a comedy of errors.
You know what the sad thing is? Because I used to have a crush on Topanga.
Everybody had a crush on Topanga.
But like, I had a crush on Topanga, and only my old school crushes matter. I don't care about anyone else. Like everyone else used to think that Drake, when he was Jimmy on Degrassi, was cute, even though his hairline was awful.
I did.
But that's a whole nother conversation that I'm gonna have one day. One day we're gonna. It's not about wheelchair Jimmy. It's about effed up hairline Jimmy. And now, as a grown man, he also still has a effed up hairline because now he has a heart just like tattooed in there. Like this is like 1989 and Do the Right Thing just came out. Like Drake, you're on notice, okay? Yeah, you have all the money in the world. You don't need to have a heart tattooed and you're on in the State Farm commercials. F you. Anyhow, sorry. I just wanted to take a quick second to talk about my Drake hate.
Yeah, see that.
And I didn't even curse.
Mm-hmm. I see that.
Anywho, so, okay. My bad. Sorry. I realized that took focus away. My apologies.
Hey, do what you want when you're popping.
Popping on a handstand?
Oh, no. Speaking of popping on a handstand,
yes.
There was a very special event that happened today, and I know that you are frothing at the mouth.
God, yes, Odie.
To talk about it.
Yes. Okay, so real talk. Here's the thing. I am a big fan of Lil Nas X. Okay, for those of you who are not in the know, Lil Nas X, he is the musical artist who came out with what was it? Old Town Road.
Mm-hmm.
And the Old Town Road remix with Billy Ray Cyrus, and just like it was the hit.
Every child that at my school loved that freaking song.
The fact that there was just a black rapper who was just making country music, it literally made everyone in the world forget about that disgusting Tim McGraw and Nelly song that came out years before. Do you even remember what I'm referencing?
I remember. And what about that one with, was it Tim McGraw and LL Cool J?
Ugh, both of them were disgusting.
God, terrible. That one was, LL Cool J one was worse.
My hair, think about it over.
But he was saying like, you're black and I'm white, but you know, we're brothers or something stupid.
Yeah.
It was so dumb.
Yet another, and that'll be another conversation that we'll have about how LL Cool J is the most handsome, quintessential New Yorker in the world, in that he's so handsome that he doesn't have a personality, aka every New York dude. Anyhow, Lil Nas X, so I'm in my 30s. Is it okay for me to say that he's a hero of mine?
Anyone can be your hero.
Because I only say because, so as a little bit more in-depth information about me, I came out as bi a few years ago. I've been bi a good portion of my adult life, but the fact that Lil Nas X, he is openly gay, and the fact that he is making music and he is just doing wonders when it comes to the visuals of his music videos and the visuals of his presentation and the visuals of just I really think he's shaping culture. You know what I mean? Our culture, Black culture.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that one, he said, yeah, I'm gonna go up into freaking country and I'm gonna make I'm gonna make the dopest country song ever. I don't give two squirts about anything that the Dixie Chicks have ever said. I don't want to ever listen to Achy Breaky Heart. I don't even care about that one snake lady who won the Grammys for folklore nonsense. All I want to hear when it comes to country is Lil Nas X, because he mastered it and he's just been jumping and creating visuals ever since. He's just a hero to me. So all of this to say, he just dropped a song called
Montero.
I did not forget the name.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was laughing.
You looked like you were pausing.
Dramatic pausing, but pausing nonetheless. But yeah, he has it. He has a song that just dropped called Montero, and I love it. Anyone who knows me knows that I spent the last 2 years with my favorite songs being only Lil Nas X songs in the number 1 and number 2 slots of my Spotify most played song playlist of 2020 and 2019. Literally, this is about to be the new one, Montero. I love it.
Are you going to play 5 seconds of it?
I wanted to play 5 seconds of it, but I wanted to sing the lyrics to your face.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I get the feeling you're not gonna like that. So
You know me so well.
I really, really do, and it's just. And we're friends, by the way. Like, oh boy, why? One day we're gonna talk about how like most of my friends are all from New York, and none of them like any of the like the sort of endearing things that I do. And
What?
yeah,
I like the endearing things you do.
In the music video, he literally strip teases down a strip pole all the way to hell, and I love it. And then he grinds on Satan.
I feel like it's just
And then he kills Satan. And then
a
he takes Satan's words.
perfect video. The visuals are great. The song itself is actually really good.
I think I told you earlier that like I had a fear that the video he would turn into like a black Lady Gaga, and that the visuals would end up being more pronounced and more memorable than the actual song. No, I listened to that song. It was a warm day outside, and I had my window open while my neighbors were out in the yard or whatever. I played this song on full blast on my Amazon device, like on repeat, to ad nauseum, to literally annoy the F out of them, and also because I love the song. So
how do you know you were annoying them and not bringing joy to their life?
I heard them be like, "Oh man, I like that song," and then like 5 minutes later, after that, and played it third time, it's like, "Oh, he really likes that song," and then 5 minutes more later, it's just like. Like I heard heavy sighs out in the yard.
How did you hear these heavy sighs all the way out?
Because like my window is super close to the backyard, and it's close to the backyard of my backyard, and then it's close to the backyard of the next door neighbor backyard. So anybody who's just back there, you can just hear people in the backyard area. So if it's my backyard or the next door neighbor backyard, they're just back there, and they were out there in full force, and I was out there just playing. Like not out there. I was in my room, my device next to the window, full volume, playing that song. I also played Bad and Bougie a bunch of times. And then I just cause like this was after they'd been like, oh man, he really likes that song. And it was very clear that they were white. I live in a gentrified area, so I just love nothing more than to make my neighbors feel uncomfortable by playing like loud black music. So yeah, I played I played Lil Nas X, and then I played Migos Bad and Bougie a bunch of times. Is any of this endearing at all?
What is your definition of endearing? Because you ask this question a lot, and I want to know what
do I consider endearing?
What do you consider endearing?
The things that I do. That
is not a description of a definition of what endearing is. You
fine.
Just pointed to
endearing
things.
is adjectives of or character traits that you look at and are like, I like that.
Now, what part exactly are you asking is endearing?
Is anything that I do endearing?
I mean, there are some things, yes.
Okay.
Do you want me to list them?
No. But if me as a human being is 100%, what is the percentage of the stuff that of me that is endearing?
10%.
Okay. No, that makes sense. That makes sense because you and I are friends and we're very similar. So if you look at me and it's like, oh yeah, 10% is endearing, because I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. I look at you and I'm like, yeah.
If you say you look at me and you say 10% is endearing, I'm taking my headphones out.
Oh, sis. You think that 10%? That's kind of high. Oh, wait. Turnabout ain't fair play? Excuse me?
I'm not the one here asking silly questions.
Okay. I'm just giving silly answers.
All right. Well.
And I like it.
You're the only one.
Okay. Boy, oh boy. Honestly, this might be the episode where people finally listen and are like, is this why they're as cool as they are as friends? Because it's like, why do they like each other. And it's like, oh, because they give each other shit. And yes, again,
You just want to do
up until
push-ups.
I have 70 push-ups to do. Not
And
tonight,
hey,
but just in general.
I'm going to laugh at you as you do them.
Well, yeah, of course.
Because you're just bringing it on yourself.
I mean, for those who don't know, like, yeah, for Lent, I have to do 10 push-ups for every curse. But at the same time, I've been doing these podcasts without cursing. And also, I have no problem with just doing push-ups.
We see.
Yeah.
Well, I think that you should probably start stretching to do some of these push-ups. You should at least get like 10 out.
I'm honestly going to do about 30 because, like, quite frankly, I think we should, like, take a quick break so I can do these curse push-ups. Can you keep count of these?
I will.
I'm going to try to do 30 on the break, but when we come back, yeah, we'll just, like, come back and dive right back into it, okay?
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good to me.
All right, BRB.
BRB.
You're listening to the Black and Snerdy Podcast.